Hello, Nick from Organized Remains reviewing the title The Final Station. It's available for Windows and Mac on Steam for the price of $14.99. The Final Station has you play as a train conductor that has access to the last available train in this end-of-the-world setting. As you travel to different stations, you'll learn more about your surroundings. Though, the more you learn, the more vague things seem to get. There's different opinions about what is actually going on, and why exactly are these black sledge-looking creatures roaming the world. You keep driving forward in hopes of an answer, and rescue some survivors along the way. At each station is a train blocker. This is a lock that is placed on the train track, and the only way to unlock it is to get an access code. The access code is never that easy to get, as the person that usually has it left their station. So you push ahead through the town and search for the code. To make things harder are the black sludge creatures I mentioned earlier. You do get guns, but ammo is limited. I got used to using my punch attack on certain sludge creatures while using my rifle or pistol for the other creatures like the quick ones. There's also a shotgun given to you, which is great when you're in a room with multiple creatures. The levels are a beauty. I love the atmosphere in this game. The music was also a great pairing for the look of the end of the world. The second part of this game was riding the train. There's different parts to the train, and each time you travel, you have to keep your eye on a part. Each part has a mini game to it that you must do, or the train will stop working. This part was pretty easy, and there was never a time I had a hard time keeping the train working. The hard part to the train sections were the survivors on board. Some were injured, and they all get hungry at some point. To help you with this, you can craft medkits and find food while you're off the train. For the medkits, they are the same medkits you use during your adventure. The better you do in the world, the easier it is to keep survivors alive. At some points, I had to make the decision on who lives and who dies. Each has their own reward for getting them to a safe point in your journey. I thought this was a great idea, and added with the intensity of the game. However, the train rides to each station got a bit boring after doing it a couple times. I thought this game was a good time, but it was repetitive near the end. I beat the final station in 3.5 hours. While the levels are fun, they are all pretty similar. You go through buildings looking for the code and supplies, then there's some shooting off the creatures, you get the code, and then there's usually sewer below that takes you back to the train. I was kept entertained for the first 2 hours, but the last hour I was starting to lose interest. Final say, I love the atmosphere to this game, and I really did enjoy it for the first 2 hours. Going around finding supplies and exploring the world was a fun ride. After that, the last section did start to feel repetitive. There's a great game here, but for the price, it might be better to wait for a sale.